Hey guys, I finally bought a ring light, so I hope this video looks better than my previous ones. And I wanted to talk about my experience with my first bodybuilding show. Some of you might remember that I said I'm gonna compete for my first time in a bodybuilding show, and it happened. And I wanted to make a video about my peak week, what I did in my peak week, why I did everything that I did, and I also wanted to talk about my experience overall. So I've been dieting for the last 4 months. I've been training for 5 years and a half. I've done everything by myself. I had no coach, no experience when it comes to preparing for a competition. But my results were pretty damn good. I mean, I got in the best shape of my life, which is a win in itself. And no, I didn't get a top place finish. To be honest, I wasn't expecting a top place finish. I was just hoping for a top 5. And spoiler alert, no, I didn't get a top 5 either. But the other athletes were looking absolutely mind-blowing. They were huge. They clearly had more experience than I did. They had a coach and all that. But I still looked pretty damn good. And I just wanted to show you what I did in my peak week because I think it worked pretty damn well. So before telling you what I did in my peak week, I guess I should explain what the peak week is because some of you might not know, I guess. So the peak week is when the magic happens, as some might say, which is not true. Some people are talking about the peak week like it's some magic shit, but it's really not. It's not gonna make a really big difference in your physique. I mean, if you're kind of fat, if you're not ready for the show at all, and you're counting on the peak week to get ready, it's probably not gonna happen. It's not gonna make a huge difference in your physique, but it does help. So a lot of people start their carb loading phase at the beginning of the peak week, which I think is kind of stupid. I did the exact opposite thing, meaning I started my carb depletion process at the beginning of the peak week. What does the carb depletion process mean? It means I wasn't eating carbohydrates anymore. I was trying to avoid them as hard as possible while only eating protein and fats. I was also eating a lot of salt because I needed a lot of sodium, and I was also drinking a lot of water. By a lot of water, I mean 8 to 12 liters a day. If you've ever tried that, you know it's hard. You have to pee every 30 minutes. You cannot really sleep well. You're half dead throughout the day. You're really out of energy. Your strength is, well, kind of rock bottom, and you shouldn't train hard anymore at this point because there's a higher risk of injury. Okay, so I started my carb depletion process at the beginning of the week, but the day before the show, I started my carb loading phase. Actually, I've recorded some videos during my peak week, and I think I'm gonna show you those videos as well, just so you can better understand what I was eating back then and what I was doing as well. Hey guys, I'm 2 days out from my first bodybuilding show. I've already ate my first meal in the morning. Now it's already afternoon. I haven't been able to eat anything else because I had to travel to Bucharest. Now it's time for the second meal, which is chicken breast. I'm gonna add some cheese and some cucumber. I'm trying to avoid the carbohydrates as hard as possible because I'm still doing a carb deload. So basically I'm only eating protein and fats, and tomorrow I'll start my carb up process. So this is my second meal. As you can see, I'm not that good at plating and shit. It's just some chicken breast with some cheese and some cucumber. I'm not cutting my salt yet. I'm also not trying to dehydrate yet or some shit like that. A lot of people start their carb up process right in the beginning of the peak week, which I think is kind of stupid. I'm not doing that either. I'm only gonna carb up tomorrow in the night before the show, And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, my third meal is gonna be exactly the same shit. $71.5 kilos, 1 day out. So this is my first meal at 1 day out. It's just some cereal with some milk. I'm gonna eat this, then I'm gonna take a shower and go for the weigh-in. I'm also gonna get the first coat of tanning, and well, that's kind of the plan for today. Later on, I'm gonna eat some more shitty food, some more junk food, probably some chocolate bars, maybe some rice cakes, and just a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of sugar. Hey yo, so I just got home. Almost 20,000 steps, and I'm getting ready for my third meal, which is going to be exactly the same thing as my second, which was like some rice cakes, a banana, and a chocolate bar. So this is my third meal. As I said, it's the exact same thing as my second meal. So it's a full bag of rice cakes, a banana, and a small chocolate bar. Hey yo, so I just went for another walk. So now I'm, let's see, 28,000 steps. Since my last meal, I also ate a protein ice cream, and now I'm gonna eat some biscuits that are pretty high in carbs but low in fats and protein, which is exactly what I want. And well, that's pretty much all for today. So 70.55. It's the day of the show. I'm weighing 3 kilos less than yesterday. I've lost a lot of water, hopefully most of it subcutaneous water. My goal was to be as lean as possible, and I pretty much got there. I'm in my best shape, the best shape of my life, which is a win in itself. I'm not really expecting much from this show. I'm not expecting to place high because I saw how everyone else looks. The other athletes look absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, as I said, I'm not really expecting much. I'm just hoping for a top 5 in any of the categories that I'm competing in. And yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, a lot of athletes have been competing before. They have a coach and all that shit. For me, it's my first prep. I've done everything on my own, so I'm just proud of even making it to the stage, and I'm really proud of myself for getting in the best shape of my life. So yeah. After this show, I'm probably gonna take a break. I wanna bulk for a few years, just to get as big as possible and also put as much muscle as I can. So yeah. So this is my first meal of the day of the show. So basically just some cereal, a banana, and 3 of those biscuits. Once again, lots of carbs and not really a whole lot of protein or fats. Still trying to avoid the fiber, still trying to avoid the other macros, not really eating a whole lot of salt, and also I'm not drinking water at all. Some of you might also wonder, why was I avoiding the fiber? I mean, the fiber is pretty satiating, it's gonna keep you full, right? And yes, all of that is true, but it's also gonna make you bloated, which is something you don't want, especially in the day of the show. So you shouldn't really eat a lot of fiber, because again, you really don't want to be bloated before getting on stage. Some of you might wonder, why are we going through this carb depletion process? Well, you want your body to get rid of all the glycogen it has. The glycogen is basically the water inside your muscles. Our muscles are made of 70% water, so we have the water inside our muscles and also the subcutaneous water, which is the water under our skin. Why would we want to get rid of the water inside the muscle, you might wonder? I mean, it makes our muscles fuller, they look bigger, so we look better with the water inside our muscles, right? And yes, it is true, but you still want to get rid of the water inside your muscles. Because if you do get rid of the water inside your muscle at the beginning of the peak week, and then you carb up right before the show, your body's gonna overcompensate, meaning it's gonna retain even more glycogen, you know? So you're gonna look fuller and better than ever before. Again, it's not really gonna help that much. I know I'm making it sound like it's some kind of magic. You're not gonna look 10 times bigger, but it does help, you know? Some of you might also wonder, why are we drinking that much water and why are we eating a lot of salt throughout the peak week? And the answer is actually pretty easy. I mean, you always want to stay hydrated, especially when you're on a high calorie deficit. And also, as I said, your muscles are 70% water, so drinking a lot of water helps you keep your muscles full, while it also helps with your energy because your energy is pretty much gone when you're 1 week out, and you really don't want to be dehydrated when you're also really lean and on a high calorie deficit. I mean, yes, it's kind of annoying not being able to sleep well and having to go to the bathroom every 30 minutes, but it's definitely worth it, you know. So drinking a lot of water also makes your body want to get rid of a lot of water, which is pretty common sense. I mean, of course, you're going to eliminate a lot more water if you're drinking a lot more water than you normally do, you know? So at a certain point in the peak week, you want to stop drinking water, which is called the dehydration process. A lot of people start their dehydration process right in the beginning of the peak week, and they cut their water intake throughout the week, which I think it's kind of stupid. I think it's probably gonna have the opposite effect compared to what you're expecting. I actually kept drinking a lot of water until the day before the show, and then I just stopped drinking water at all, you know? And I think it worked pretty well. I'm gonna show you some photos of me one day out and some photos from the day of the show so you can see how I looked. So as I said, throughout the week I was only eating protein and fats. I was trying to avoid all the carbohydrates, but at the end of the week, when I was one day out, I started my carb loading phase, which means I started doing the opposite thing. I was eating a lot of carbs. I didn't care about the protein and the fats anymore. My goal was to fill my muscles with as much glycogen as I could, you know? A lot of people start their carb loading phase right in the beginning of the peak week and they increase their carbohydrates throughout the week. For me, it's just an excuse to give up on your diet earlier. I mean, you really do not need a whole week to fill up your glycogen stores. You don't need more than 1 day. And there's also a bigger chance of you spilling out if you start your carb loading phase right in the beginning of the week. So I just know, it just made a lot more sense to me to start my carb loading phase right in the day before the show, you know. Anyway, so I wanted to explain you guys what I did throughout the peak week and why I did everything that I did. Maybe some of you might want to compete in the future and maybe this video is gonna help you. I really hope it will. These are the medals that I won. Again, I didn't get to the finals, but I think I looked pretty damn good for my first bodybuilding show. I'm pretty happy with my results. I'm really proud of myself for even getting there. And now I want to take a break. I want to bulk for like 3 to 4 years, and then I'll go back to competing again. Anyway, so overall, it was a great experience. I really had fun on stage. I felt great. And as I said, I'm really proud of myself for getting there, for getting in the best shape of my life. And I know I can do more, and I will. I also want to thank my girlfriend because she supported me throughout the whole prep. She was always there for me, and I'm so grateful for this. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I hope this video helps you guys as well if you want to compete in the future. Maybe some of my tips are going to be helpful. I really hope they will be helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and well, I'll see you in the next video.